A very white Christmas. Matt Wentz is tracking the coldest Christmas in 16 years. Just how heavy the snow could get tonight.
And health experts want you to stay home for the holidays, but millions are still flying this season. The increase in travel local airports are seeing.
Me and my best friend just went last minute shopping. It's packed in the stores. It's crazy.
Last minute shopping frenzy. The pandemic didn't stop the rush to get gifts under the tree tonight. How shoppers did their best to stay safe.
Tracking Santa, the story behind how the NORAD Santa Tracker came to be. Plus, we'll let you know where the jolly old elf is at right now.
When I had the girls, I wanted a better life for them than what I had.
And a local mom who gives so much is getting a big surprise. What's new starts right now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Merry Christmas Eve, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Danielle Serino with Mike Polk. Jay and Betsy have the night off tonight. Hello.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Danielle. Thanks for having me. I am glad to get to spend Christmas Eve with you and all of you lovely folks.
It's been a long time. All right, let's go to the headlines now. Health experts are encouraging everyone to keep Christmas celebrations small this year. But if you're heading out tonight, be careful. Matt Wentz is tracking a winter storm. Now, Matt, how are things shaping up out there?
Yeah, well, hi there, Danielle. A happy early Christmas to you for sure. We've got our snow that we've been asking for, and I'll tell you what, we have some problems outside as anticipated, and it's only going to go downhill from here. But Danielle, the snow's been coming down heavy, especially the eastern half of the viewing area. We have snow-covered roads. I just checked the latest traffic reports, and we've got numerous accidents out there and a very slow go on almost the entire Northeast Ohio roadway corridor. So let's get to the radar right now. Our storm just starting now. We've got the heavier snow. We had the freezing drizzle earlier today. That was after the rain and warmth to start our Christmas Eve. You can see we've seen one real decent wave of some decent snowfall now pushing into areas of Trumbull, Ashtabula, Lake Geauga County. That's outbound right now. Very small flakes with this. It's a wet snow, but it's adding up quickly. You can see we're getting a break back towards Cuyahoga County, but it's been a rough go of it. A live look courtesy ODOT of 271 at 480 and visibility reduced to under a half mile times. You can see that we've got snow-covered interstates and the side roads as well. That snow continues down to the south. Portage County from Kent up towards Nelson, getting some heavier snow right now. That extends back into the Canton area. Here's a live look right now at 77 near Fairlawn, where we haven't had as much snow over the last half hour or so, but still some tricky travel. And with that cold air funneling in, we've had some rough go of it in terms of some of the icing on area interstates and those ramps. Mansfield, all the way down to the south and the west, we haven't had as much snow, but you can see interstates there are mainly wet, but we've got the icy patches obviously on bridges and overpasses. In terms of the snow, it's going to continue over the next really 4 to 8 hours. I think it'll be at its heaviest. You can see we've got numerous areas of showers and thunderstorms down to the south, so lots of moisture feeding into this. At the same time, we've got the cold air from the west. It was all a matter of how that meets up, and we've got an area low pressure down to our south that will ride the Appalachian Mountains. That will help to bring in some of the heavier snowfall rates this evening on through the overnight. And you can see here as we look at it, we've got plenty more snow developing down to our southwest. That will overspread the area. And as a result, we've got winter storm warnings. This is from Cuyahoga County down towards Tuscarawas County, pretty much along and east of 77. That's where our highest impacts will be. But you can't rule out areas like Wayne and Holmes County, Medina County, even Lorain County. Winter weather advisories for you, but we're still going to see some impacts there as we could see some heavier snow. As we go over the nighttime tonight, we've got heavier snow to deal with the next 4 to 8 hours, and then it turns to lake effect tomorrow. That'll eventually come to an end as we get towards our Christmas night and Saturday morning, but not until it dumps some pretty decent totals on Northeast Ohio. I've got the latest on that. We're also going to talk not just accumulations, but more importantly, impacts coming up in the full forecast. Danielle?
All right, Matt, thanks so much. Now let's go to your feed at 5 now. Despite the pandemic, millions of people are still traveling this holiday season. Here's what it looked like outside of Cleveland Hopkins Airport. While it's not too busy right now, there's been a spike in passengers. There are averaging 5,500 travelers a day compared to 314 in April. In Akron-Canton, they've seen about 600 passengers a day, which is up from about 30 in April. Meanwhile, long lines wrapped around the terminal at Miami International Airport, where one woman was heading back to Brazil to visit her parents.
I bought this flight 7 months ago, so I'm really excited to see them. And I don't know, I feel like I don't know how to explain. I just want to see them. I think we'll be okay. I don't really think it's really dangerous, the coronavirus. So.
All right, well, health experts still say, though, staying home this holiday season will slow the spread of COVID-19.
Well, 'twas the night before Christmas, and all through the malls, last-minute shoppers were working to get those perfect gifts. A lot of panicking dads and boyfriends out there right now, folks. Our 3 news crews, fun term, spotted lots of shoppers hitting stores across Northeast Ohio. Rachel Polanski has the latest.
Me and my best friend just went last-minute shopping. It's packed in the stores. It's crazy.
It didn't take us long to find last-minute shoppers.
Oh my gosh, I am trying to finish up my shopping. I got a late start.
Because there were a lot of them. Just take a look at this video our 3 News drone captured from above South Park Mall in Strongsville, and here, above Beechwood Place over on the east side.
A few bags, doing some last-minute Christmas shopping.
Last-minute Christmas shopping?
Last-minute shopping, it's hectic in there.
Why did you wait so long?
Just, procrastination, typical last-minute.
While some folks are here because they put off their shopping, others look forward to the holiday rush.
It's always fun. I always do Christmas Eve shopping.
And still others just wanted to do something that felt normal.
And I just want to get out of the house and experience what was a normal Christmas.
Right.
Just go shopping at Legacy Village, go to Crate and Barrel. This is what I used to do.
So how did the pandemic play into things? Well, shoppers at the malls we visited said it didn't really. They just practiced social distancing and followed COVID protocol.
Mask. We staying safe. For real, every time you leave, it's important to stay safe.
And while 2020 has been a year of uncertainty, one thing that always remains the same, there are always shoppers on Christmas Eve. Now, if you still have some shopping to do yourself, make sure you check the store hours before heading out. Reporting from Legacy Village, I'm Rachel Polanski, 3 News.
To our coronavirus headlines now. Ohio reported 8,828 new cases today. That's about 1,000 fewer than the 3-week average, but still a very high number. Meantime, 4,494 Ohioans are currently hospitalized with COVID-19, which is more than 16% of all hospital beds in the state. And another 95 people in the state have lost their battle with the virus. Of course, every week the state updates its county-by-county alert levels. None are at the highest purple level for the first time in quite a while, but the numbers continue to climb in 84 of our 88 counties. All right, let's get you caught up on some of today's other big headlines. We'll start with that massive relief bill that Congress is still fighting over. Republicans today blocked increasing individual payments from $600 to $2,000 per person. President Trump threatened to veto the original relief bill, which had bipartisan support, if the individual payments didn't hit that $2,000 mark. So House Democrats will now introduce a separate bill with just the increased payments in it. Breaking news in Columbus. The police chief just announced he's taken action to fire Officer Adam Coy in the wake of the shooting death of Andre Hill this week. Newly released body cam footage shows the minute leading up to the shooting of unarmed Hill. Coy did not turn on the camera's audio in violation of department policy. The city's safety director ultimately will act on the chief's charges and recommendations to terminate the officer. And after years of uncertainty, the UK and the European Union have reached a Brexit deal. This will let the nation leave with a trade deal in place, preventing potential economic turmoil that would have followed a no-deal exit.
All right. Well, kids, this one is for you. We have a huge child demographic, surprisingly. Santa is hard at work delivering presents for all the good boys and girls all over the globe right now. And right now, he is in Norway. Today, we talked to our military members who are in charge of tracking Santa. Edward Vaughn, the deputy commander of the Canadian NORAD region, told us they use satellites to track Santa, and they use fighter jets to join him later on just to keep him safe. That's good, that's smart. And this all started more than 65 years ago because of a simple misprint in an ad.
Before the internet, department stores used to advertise their Christmas sales via mailings and catalogs. And there was the Sears Roebuck Company in Colorado Springs, Colorado. They published a phone number that was intended to go to one of their sales centers so they could do their promotional campaign. They inadvertently published an unpublished number for at that time the Continental Air Defense, or CONAD. And so some young child calls up. They think they're going to get Santa. Who do they get? They get Colonel Harry Shoup. Colonel Harry Shoup, a very nice person, and thinks on its feet and realizes that the child's trying to reach Santa Claus, and basically makes a promise and says, look, I'm not Santa, but I'll pass your message along, and we'll go one step further. We're going to use the assets we have available to track Santa and make sure Santa has a safe trip tonight on Christmas Eve. And, that started in 1955, and for the last 65 years, NORAD's been tracking Santa ever since.
Well, that makes me feel a lot better knowing that he's safe. The piece we're streaming the NORAD Santa Tracker on right now, the WKYC Facebook page, so you can check that out all night long. Keep it up. Next, the gift of love, folks, paid back in a small way. The way one local mom's giving spirit is being honored this holiday season.
And later in your pop break, the reason Dave Chappelle just bought an old Ohio firehouse. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back. Santa is officially on his way. Meantime, here's a live look at the Rockefeller Christmas tree in New York City. A little quiet out there tonight. I don't know if their temperatures are the same as ours are here and people would want to stay in, but the tree looks absolutely spectacular. And it's funny because when they first brought that tree in, people were making fun saying it looked kind of like the Charlie Brown Christmas tree, but I think it looks wonderful. And in fact, you may remember there was an owl that made that ride all the way down from upstate New York, 170 miles, that they rescued and later released. All right, so this has been some year, huh? A lot of sacrifice, but a lot of selfless acts. In fact, Giant Eagle is giving back to some who it calls great neighbors in our community this holiday season. Jay Crawford shares the story of one devoted Akron mom whose own mother wanted everyone to see her love.
She's had some really, really hard times, and she does a lot of struggling. She's raising two girls on her own. They're both in college, and just always sacrificing taking away from herself to make sure that they had what they needed.
There's nothing quite like a mother's love.
When I had the girls, I wanted a better life for them than what I had. And I had times where I had to let things go in order to pay the tuition. And the cars weren't always nice, but it got us to point A to B.
That love is passed through the generations. It's especially true for Julius Benson and her daughter, Selena Holmes.
Being a single mom, I wanted them to have a good foundation.
Where do you think that came from? Did Mom instill that in you?
Yes, she did. She's really like my best friend. She's my touchstone.
So perhaps it's no surprise that when Julius saw Giant Eagle was honoring special members of the community with their Great Neighbor Awards, she decided to nominate her daughter.
Mom also tells us that even though things have been tough for you, you never hesitate to lend a hand to help others, particularly at the church. Why is that so important to you, Selena?
Well, it's giving back. It's easy for me to give rather than receive.
This holiday season, it's time to give back to someone who has given so much to others.
I know you said that it's easier for you to give than it is to receive, so this may be hard for you, but I'd like to inform you that you are one of their winners of the Great Neighbor Award, and with that, Selena, comes $500 in free groceries.
That means the world to me. Just being able to provide, meals for my girls and my family. That would be a great help. Thank you.
Oh man, that's the good stuff right there. Those are the kind of stories we need, folks. Thank you, Selena, for taking care of people. Speaking of taking care of people, keeping them safe, I think we got a very special guy right here, Matt Wentz, who's going to tell you how to stay safe out there right now. Right, Matt?
Oh, thanks a lot, Mike. My advice would be just don't go out. Just stay inside and watch it fall from inside with a cup of coffee or hot chocolate, whatever it happens to be for you. But if you do have to head out, I get it. A lot of people heading over to friends and family. Perhaps you've been quarantining like our family has been doing for the last 2 weeks, and you got to get somewhere. It is going to be a rough go, so allow some extra time. So how did we get here? First of all, look at the temperatures today. We went from 52 degrees at 8 a.m. down to 36 at 9. You probably felt that if you were out and about any time this morning, and now we're back into the mid-20s. That's the cold air arriving. You can see it is now all the way over towards the state line. We're all firmly in the 20s. This is some of the coldest air we've had yet this season. The good news is the wind, yeah, it's been gusty at times, but it could be a lot worse. This isn't like the last storm system where we had those howling winds. I still think we're going to see gusty winds later tonight as this low pressure strengthens, but overall wind is going to be less of a factor than it was with our last big snow. There are winter storm warnings out for counties in pink, winter weather advisories for the counties in blue. Basically, it's all about impacts, right? The impacts will be felt from 77 on towards the east, and we're still going to see some impacts off towards the west. They'll just be a little bit lesser. So here's our storm ramping up now. You saw earlier, we saw some of that freezing drizzle and rain change over to that snow pretty quickly this afternoon, and we've seen some pretty decent snowfall rates. They're heaviest right now out in the eastern half of our area, those dark blues. We're getting a little break in the Cleveland and Akron area right now. Everything's starting to reorganize back down towards the south. You can see the snow moving back in the areas of Wayne County, Worcester, over towards Smithville, Doylestown getting some snow right now, and that stretches down into Millersburg right now. But the bigger picture, we're not done with this storm yet. We've still got about 450 miles worth of snow to get through as that cold air continues to work into this deep moisture out of the Gulf. That snow will continue to fill in from Kentucky back towards Tennessee, and it'll ride right up that area of low pressure that we were tracking over the last couple days, and that will help to enhance some of these snowfall rates. So diving into the details of your National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast as we go through time tonight, some of these darker blues, those are heavier snowfall rates. They'll mainly be right in our winter storm warning counties, from 71 off towards the east and especially 77 off towards the east. Meanwhile, we've got lighter snow to the west. And look what happens tonight. This is when I still think we'll have our heaviest snowfall in terms of rates coming out of the sky between 9, 10, 11 o'clock and midnight tonight. And there's going to be some some lake enhanced bands coming with that. So that's moisture with the system that actually gets some more moisture from the lake. So we'll likely have some pretty decent snowfall rates near the lake shore, perhaps 1 to 2 inches of snow per hour at times. Meanwhile, we've got heavy snow back towards Akron, Canton, over towards Youngstown and Ashtabula. As we get into the early morning hours, Christmas morning, this is when the kids will be tearing open those presents. Regardless of if parents are awake, you can see we've got generally a light snow. The system snow heading out of here, and we turn towards lake effect. So that snow will transition mainly towards our lakeshore counties. We'll likely get some heavier rates in there as well toward your Christmas morning. And then eventually we'll start to clear everyone out, exception being the lake effect. And models have been very consistent, and later tomorrow, a pretty decent band organizing somewhere in the snow belt. We'll have to stay tuned on exactly where that sets up, but that could have some very impressive rates for your Christmas evening as well. And then Saturday, sigh of relief. It'll be cold around here, but we're going to clear things out. We'll probably even see the sunshine. Here's the latest model run. This isn't our forecast, but this is pretty close to it. Look at some of the numbers coming out of the lake effect up in Lake Geauga, Ashtabula County. A fine line right along pretty much 71, exception being Lorain County. Here's our forecast. Again, we want to make this easy to read instead of having a bunch of numbers on here, so we'll go up to with the forecast, and you can see here's that lake enhancement. Lorain County, you may get some extra. This is mainly lake effect thereafter, where we could see upwards of 20 inches in areas of Geauga County out towards PA, and then we've got a fine line of up to 10, including Akron and Canton down towards Dover and New Philly. In terms of impacts, though, that's what matters. We always preach that. Does it matter if you get 10 inches versus 8? It doesn't. You have the same impacts, and our impacts are likely going to be in the high category in terms of the snow. Will be high in terms of the travel as well. We're already seeing that with the mess that's out in area interstates. And in terms of outages, I don't see the power outages that we saw with the last system, because that wind will be lesser and the snow is going to turn more towards fluff as we get into tonight and tomorrow as we bring that colder air in. Your Ken Ganley Kia 7-day forecast. As you said earlier, Mike, it is the coldest Christmas we'll have in 16 years around here, 22 degrees, a little bit of leftover snow Saturday. But look at that, we're right up near 40 again on Monday with perhaps a little rain, snow. No big systems that we're going to have to be concerned with beyond this one. So it'll be a Merry Christmas. I know a lot of people traveling perhaps later, Saturday, Sunday, so they'll get here okay after we get through this one.
Thanks, Matt. I appreciate good info there. I do want to make this clear. We did not coordinate wearing holiday vests together. We're just on the same page, and it just kind of happened organically, didn't it?
Yeah, Mike, it did. I asked my wife, I said, do I look more presidential, like I'm going into some kind of debate, or Christmassy? She said definitely presidential. I think you look dapper, by the way.
I think we're both pulling it off. Thanks, Matt. We'll check in with you later. Next, we all know the tune, folks, and we all sing along. How Neil Diamond is bringing the world together with his hit song, Sweet Caroline.
Plus, an icy deer rescue that took quick thinking and some guts. It's your Worth the Watch still ahead. Oh.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Merry Christmas Eve. Time for your daily dose of pop culture. Dave Chappelle, Ohio's oddest resident that we're happy is here, just bought a different type of house in the Buckeye State. Beyonce is in a giving spirit this season, and Neil Diamond is bringing the world together one chorus at a time. It's all in today's Pop Break.
Reports say Dave Chappelle just bought a former firehouse near Dayton and plans to turn it into a comedy club. It's in Miami Township where he grew up, and Chappelle hopes it will bring more business to the struggling economy. No word on how much he bought it for or when the venue could open, but I already sent my avails. Beyonce is channeling her inner Santa this season. Her foundation is donating $500,000 to families who are facing eviction during the pandemic. The 24-time Grammy winner's Be Good Impact Fund is giving the money away as $5,000 grants to people and families facing eviction and foreclosure. This comes after her fund already provided at least $2.5 million in small business grants already. And when Neil Diamond performs Sweet Caroline, everybody sings along. And this time, everybody literally means people from all over the world.
Touching me, touching you.
Concerts right now, so Diamond asked fans around the globe to upload themselves singing the tune. The result? A global sing-along video posted to Diamond's YouTube channel this week. So if you folks haven't heard people screaming that song enough, go check it out.
All right. Our Worth the Watch today is absolutely adorable. A man in Wisconsin saved a deer stranded out on a frozen reservoir. He was on his way home when he saw the deer struggling, so he ran home, grabbed a leash, and called a friend to help him out. Problem is, they realized the leash wasn't going to cut it, so they got creative, as you see, pushing that deer to safety, sliding across the ice on the pond. Pretty risky move, but the man says he was confident the ice would hold. And then, as you see, the deer gets up, runs away, and doesn't even say thank you.
That looked like some weird Scandinavian version of curling, didn't it? I mean, that was clearly a deer rescue, but it was very odd looking.
Yes. Very, very adorable, though. And I'm glad the deer's safe, because you know I'm an animal freak. By the way, nice wrapping paper behind you.
Thank you. This is actually wallpaper. I put that in permanently.
Outstanding. Perfect for the Christmas season. All right. New at 5:30, a lot of people are on pins and needles hoping their Christmas presents will arrive on time. But if you're in a pinch, we have the last-minute alternatives if online shopping deliveries are letting you down this year. But first, that winter storm is already blowing through as temperatures drop. Matt will tell us just how much snow we're going to get, and I can tell you those roads are rough out there, so please be careful. And later, more Browns players placed on the COVID-19 reserve list. We'll tell you who they are and what it means for our next game.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Welcome back, everybody, to this Christmas edition of What's New. I'm Mike Polk, broadcasting from Chateau Polk. Danielle Serino is in WKYC Studios. Jay and Betsy have the night off. Hello, Danielle. Do you find yourself awash in the holiday spirit?
Oh, I'm just, I'm having the grandest old time here, trying to stay out of the snowstorm and sliding all over the place. I meant to ask you, in the last half hour, you had mentioned about Dave Chappelle opening his comedy club. You going in for it?
No, I won't be going anytime soon, but hopefully when this is all gone, everybody's all vaccinated and stuff, I'll definitely be down there. Yeah, no doubt.
I know you could sell it out.
Yeah,
all right,
sure.
Time
No
for your
problem.
three things to know now at 5:30. First, Republicans in Congress are blocking a move to issue $2,000 stimulus checks. That's a measure President Trump called for and threatened to veto any COVID relief bill without it. A presidential signature on the current deal would send $600 stimulus checks and other aid out before the new year, but right now it is on hold. Some encouraging news, though. Ohio no longer has any counties at the state's highest coronavirus alert level, which is purple. However, all but 4 of Ohio's 88 counties are still seeing high virus exposure and spread and are advised to limit activities as much as possible. And Cleveland Clinic workers received doses of the new Moderna COVID-19 vaccine today. The hospital system received its first shipment yesterday, and caregivers began receiving their shots at several regional locations today. Well, we got quite the Christmas gift this year. Matt Wentz is tracking the snowstorm, and it's brutal out there. I was going less than 30 miles an hour, and I spun out on my way in.
Yeah, Danielle, that's really slow for you. I know how you drive for sure. So it's been a mess all over the place. And looking at the latest traffic reports, it's slow area-wide. There's no spot that's slower than others, but all the main thoroughfares are either snow-covered or they have ice on the sides. It's a mess. And ODOT's working hard. They've got 250 crews out there that are working 12-hour shifts. So it's just a matter of some of these rates and the fact that we had a flash freeze today. We went from the wet ground down to 25 degrees in a hurry. So a lot of that is freezing. Heaviest snow right now as we take a look at the radar out on Ashtabula and Trumbull County. That's pushing on out, but some pretty good rates there. A live look right now, courtesy ODOT of I-90 at Route 11, and they're getting their first real coating of snow out in Ashtabula County. We get a little break as you get towards Cuyahoga County. Akron, the snow's starting to pick on up again. You can see this is pretty much what all the interstates look like. I-77 near Fairlawn. You've got those 2 little lanes that you got to stay in. And again, it gets slick when you get outside of that. And back towards Mansfield, snow building back in. Definitely a wet and slippery road if they are treated as you get down that neck of the woods. But this storm system just getting going. We've got more snow to go here. That cold air continues to funnel in, and we've literally got another 250 miles so of snow stretching back down towards Tennessee. That will move in here tonight, and coming up in that forecast, we'll give you another look at our accumulation forecast, but more importantly, the impacts, because all of us are going to be feeling them tonight as we go throughout the Christmas Eve and Christmas morning. Mike?
Thanks, Matt. Best bros for life. Now, on to today's top talker, holiday shipping. There's a chance you've spent all day praying that your Christmas gift that you ordered online is going to show up at your doorstep before tomorrow morning. If it doesn't, NBC's Kathy Park has some alternative solutions and a look at just what delivery drivers are up against this year.
On this Christmas Eve, U.S. shipping services are now on their final push. A tidal wave of packages this holiday season swamped their systems. Roughly 3 billion, 30% more than this time last year, as the pandemic drove more shoppers to buy online. For those who deliver for a living, it's been a rough 9 months.
When you add in the stress of the COVID pandemic and going to work every day as frontline essential workers since March and the short staffing, I think postal workers are truly exhausted.
The post office added tens of thousands of seasonal workers, extended overtime, and expanded Sunday deliveries. Still, the pandemic hit their ranks hard. Roughly 19,000 workers are out every day nationwide because of virus-related issues. Competitors UPS and FedEx have contracts with retailers. When the number of shipments hits the limit, the surplus spills over to the U.S. postal system.
The Postal Service ended up receiving 6 million packages a day more than what they could have planned for.
For those who waited until the last minute, there are still options. Some retailers have partnered with food delivery companies, so check individual websites. Macy's and Bloomingdale's are working with DoorDash. Sephora and Dick's Sporting Goods with Instacart. And for those still waiting on delayed packages, well, here's another idea.
If they don't come, I'll just maybe cut out a little picture of what the present is and give it to them that way in a little box.
That's pretty cool that they've partnered up with like Instacart and DoorDash. I would have never thought of that. And I would ask you if your gifts have arrived yet, but I'm wondering, did you even finish your shopping?
Of course. I'm almost a grown man. And all my stuff came, for the most part, and I think that the delivery drivers are seriously doing an amazing job, including the post office, which has had a heck of a year, and applause to them because they've been amazing. So
19,000 people, they said, are out for it. Yeah. God. All right.
It's incredible.
Next, a new COVID threat. Sorry, it's the delay. Sorry,
Sorry
guys.
about
Next,
the delay,
a new
folks.
COVID
Merry
threat.
Christmas.
Let me try this again. Next, COVID in the Browns lineup. The key player whose status Sunday is in doubt as the team is on the hunt for its first division title since 1989. And later, we keep the gift-giving ideas going. No shipping, no gift wrapping, and no stores required.
Hey, yes, I do. Merry Christmas to you.
Welcome back. Matt, about an hour ago, I was looking out the window to I-90, and it was almost a whiteout. What's going on now in other parts of the state?
Well, Danielle, things have, and don't mind my cat Max, who decided to hop up here. He must be hungry. But things have started to kind of quiet down, and I just tweeted out that I think they're going to remain rather quiet, and the snow's going to be a little bit more scattered over the next hour or so, and then things are going to ramp up again tonight, Danielle. In fact, some of our heaviest snowfall rates, I think, of this entire event are going to occur later on this evening through the early morning hours of Christmas Day. So you felt the temperature drop today. We've got the cold air present. You look over the last, 24 hours or so, it's actually about about the last 20 hours. We had that big drop this morning from 50 to 30. Now we're down into the low and mid 20s outside. And that doesn't include the wind chill, feeling more like the low teens in spots. But we've got the cold air. And remember all the rain we had, the drizzle we had this morning, all of that has become a sheet of ice outside as the ground has finally gotten below freezing as well. So untreated surfaces, yeah, they're a mess. And a lot of roadways are too because of that. Wind is not too gusty. It's breezy. We've got gusts to 20 at times, but could be a lot worse. That's our one saving grace right now. And you can see the areas impacted are going to be pretty much all of northern Ohio, but the pink counties under winter storm warnings, that's when we'll see the highest impacts. Winter weather advisories out towards the west, where we're still going to have some slick conditions. So we saw one wave of some pretty decent snowfall moving from southwest to northeast across the area. That now pushing out. You can see how things have become a little bit more scattered. We've got heaviest snow, Ashtabula, Trumbull, even areas of eastern Portage County right now. Another little band of some snow pushing into Akron, Coventry, Portage Lakes, down towards the Worcester area. And then the more organized snow still awaits down towards our south. That'll push into Mansfield and areas of Tuscarawas and Carroll counties first. All this being driven by very cold air working into copious amounts of moisture with this stream out of the Gulf. It creates a pretty decent snowstorm if you get the air cold enough, and we certainly have that. What we're going to wait on tonight's this area of low pressure, and what will happen as that moves northward, it will enhance the snowfall. You already see it happening. That's our evening snow when I think it really ramps up, especially along and east of 77. So your National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast, you can see here as we go through time, here comes that band of snow, some of these darker colors down towards the south and the east between 8 and 9 o'clock. As we get towards the midnight hour, we'll start to tap into perhaps some lake moisture as well. You can see these little bands of some darker colors there. That would indicate to me that we've got lake enhanced snow. So you already have the system snow. You throw some lake moisture on top of that. We'll likely have some heavier rates up towards the lake shore. By 3 a.m., the system will start to push out. And I think waking up on Christmas morning, not only will it be a white Christmas, but we should start to lose a lot of the flakes outside of our lakeshore counties where we'll still get some decent snowfall rates. And then by tomorrow afternoon, it becomes more of a lake effect event, and we could see some pretty decent snow bands developing somewhere in Cuyahoga Lake, Geauga, Ashtabula counties, and those could be some pretty impressive rates as well before that all pushes out as we get on into your Saturday. Latest snowfall totals, yeah, we could be talking 20 inches in parts of the snow belt. The rest of us, general 5 to 10 as you get east of 77. In terms of the up to amount, I figure that's easier to remember. You can see we're dealing with the highest impacts and highest snowfall totals, again, off towards the east of 77, east of 71. Those areas off towards the west are still going to see impacts as well. So it's all about how it impacts us, travel, the snow, and I think power outages will be a little bit more minimal than the last storm, but it's going to be a rough go of it, I think, all the way through Christmas Day, and especially out in the snow belt. Your Ken Ganley Kia 7-day forecast, coldest Christmas in 16 years is going to be on our hands tomorrow. Remember last year, Mike, it was 58 degrees with some sunshine, but we're going to jump out of this. We'll be back into the 40s by next week. But boy, looking outside right now, it feels like a far cry from last year's 58 and sunshine.
Thanks a lot, Matt. Appreciate it. Good info. And that is a handsome cat you got there. Good cat cameo. Well, it's now time to see what is clicking in Cleveland. And for that, we bring in my friend and our digital anchor, Stephanie Haney. Stephanie, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too, Mike. We are starting off with an update to the Browns' COVID-19 list. Offensive tackle Jedrick Wills Jr. has been added to that list due to COVID-19 close contact. Here's what head coach Kevin Stefanski had to say about the chances he plays on Sunday against the New York Jets.
I think I would just tell you there's a possibility. Anything new to any team, really. Look around the league. People are dealing with injuries, dealing with the COVID list. That's all 32 clubs to some degree are dealing with this.
He started every game this season, and now he has to test negative for the next 5 days to be able to play on Sunday. Receiver Ryan Switzer from the practice squad is also now on the COVID list. Now, Santa Claus made an early stop in Cleveland last night, and he was surrounded by red lights that did not come from Rudolph's nose. Santa got a police escort to UH Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital. As part of Operation Santa Sleigh, Santa brought a little early holiday cheer to the boys and girls being treated there. But kids, don't worry. Santa made it back to the North Pole to get ready to deliver lots of good things on Christmas Day. And so many of you have been sending us your holiday decorations, and we love it because then we get to share it with everyone watching. Let's take a look in Canton, in my hometown. Courtney Ayers has not one, Not 2, not even 3, but 4 stunning Christmas trees this year. She says her 4th one is brand new for the season, and it's extra special because it's her and her husband's first Christmas in their new home. Now, it definitely looks like Courtney is ready for the holiday. I am almost there, Mike. Still have a few things to get to. It sounds like you have things already over there, and your decor is looking fabulous, I must say.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. A lot of people varying this season. Thank you for the information, Stephanie, and Merry Christmas to you. Coming up next on What's New, celebs are coming in clutch this holiday season. How you can give a gift of a cameo to your loved ones. Then a local woman spends her day spreading holiday cheer. Now her neighbors are giving back to her. It's ahead. Stay tuned.
With their holiday gifts this year, and the celebrity video site Cameo is becoming quite a popular option. Oh, that's it? Okay, I saw that. Many people are getting pretty creative with their holiday gifts this year, and the celebrity video site Cameo is becoming quite a popular option.
That's right, Danielle. It's a fascinating concept, so naturally, I had to check it out for myself. Most of you probably know about Cameo by now.
Hi everyone, it's Lindsay Lohan.
Kenny G here, your favorite musician of all time.
This is Chris Tucker.
This is Terry Francona from the Cleveland Indians.
This is Sarah Palin up in Alaska.
The site has literally thousands of celebrities and personalities who you can hire to record a quick greeting for someone as a gift, or as a pick-me-up for yourself if you like, so long as you're willing to meet their personal asking price, of course, which is determined by their level of fame. For example, if you want Snoop Dogg to say Happy Holidays.
What up, though? This is Big Snoop Dogg.
That's gonna run you $1,200. But if you're on a tighter budget, you could have the Richmond, Virginia's minor league baseball team mascot, Nutsy the Flying Squirrel, say hi for just 20 bones. So it really runs the gamut. I personally think this is a really fun gift, particularly for these weird socially distanced times. And it's super safe because there's no chance of contracting a virus by watching a Cameo video. Of course, unless you go with Charlie Sheen.
It's Charlie. Happy birthday.
In which case, I think that nature might find a way. So, since I knew that I would be hosting this evening with my good friend Danielle Serino, in the spirit of the season, I decided to spring for a celebrity cameo video just for her. But who to pick? I had to take two factors into account. Number one, I wanted it to be someone that Danielle would know and would enjoy hearing from. And number two, obviously cost, which is really the most important factor. Especially once work told me that I would not be permitted to expense this, which is fair, but it made for some tough calls. For example, I'm sure Danielle would have loved to have received a message from Miami Vice star Don Johnson.
I'm here to bring a little Christmas cheer into your world.
But at $500, that wasn't in the cards. For a more reasonable $135, I could have gotten Ernie Hudson, the least consequential Ghostbuster. But to be honest, the sample videos kind of depressed me.
Ernie Hudson here, you know, Winston Zeddemore from the movie Ghostbusters. You see, I'm wearing my Ghostbuster jumpsuit from the movie.
So I kept searching, and that's when I found it. The perfect cameo for Danielle. Mark McGrath, lead singer of the band Sugar Ray. Now, to be clear, I have no idea whether or not Danielle likes Sugar Ray's music. I'm not saying she does or she doesn't, it's just never come up. But regardless, I knew that she would know who he was. And that sort of basic recognition, combined with a reasonable $90 price point, was the exact type of cameo synergy I was striving for. And let me just say this, Mark McGrath did not disappoint. Happy holidays, Danielle. I hope you're ready to fly.
Hey, what is up, Danielle? It is Mark McGrath from the band Sugar Ray. Yes, off the charts, but always in your heart. And Danielle, I understand from your coworker, Mike Polk, that you, unfortunately, have to work on Christmas Eve. What a drag. I want to wish you a very happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, and happy New Year, all that good stuff. I'm going to bust out the Sugar Ray acoustic guitar and wish Danielle a happy holidays the way she deserves to have a happy holidays wish to her. Danielle, this is for you. Happy holidays, happy holidays. May the merry bells keep ringing. Happy holidays to you. Woo!
So,
was
two-part
hysterical.
question, Danielle. Two-part question. First of all, did that have as much of an emotional effect as I would assume it would on you? And secondly, how do you feel about Sugar Ray?
Well, I didn't know who he was until you played the clip. Sorry, but then I knew who it was, and I am very embarrassed, but I thought that was awesome. That was an adorable gift, and I very much appreciate it.
No problem. And he really did deliver. Mark McGrath was great. In fact, as long as that was, he actually did even a little bit more. Take a look.
But Danielle, I just realized I forgot to get you a holiday gift. And I feel terrible. But since you are a fan of the band Sugar Ray, how about a #1 song that I co-wrote from 1999 as my gift to you, Danielle, from Mike Polk and myself. She always rights the wrong for me, baby. She always rights the wrong for me. Every morning there's a halo hanging from the corner of my girlfriend's four-post fan. I know it's not mine, but I'll see if I can. Woo! Danielle, happy holidays to you and all the best in 2021.
That was a riot. How much did you have to pay? I didn't hear what you said. Did you pay for that, first of all? Do you know this guy?
It doesn't matter. Money is not the issue. It's all about making you happy by having Sugar Ray sing to you on Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you,
I thought that was great. Thank you very much. That was a lot of fun. All right, next on What's New, an Amherst woman spending holiday cheer is now getting a gift of her own. See how her neighbors are giving back. And coming up at 6 on What Matters Most, a young boy finds his forever home just in time for the holidays. We'll introduce you to the local couple who made him part of their family. Today's Show Us Something Good comes from Amherst in Lorain County. Karen Ganch is 74 years young. She spends her days walking the streets of Amherst to spread holiday cheer, and she holds up signs and gives out gifts. And now her neighbors are doing the same. They've delivered dozens of cards to her and even set up a GoFundMe account. Karen says when you wake up every morning, you haven't finished your journey yet.
They're still good out here. Just have to look a little bit. Even just step outside the door, look up and say, hey, look, the world's still here. The sun's gonna shine. It's gonna be a good day.
I wish I had her spirit. That is absolutely amazing, and I'm so glad that her neighbors helped out with that. That is wonderful.
Nobody has better perspective than the people who have been here around the most. They don't take anything for granted, and they appreciate what's around them, and we can learn a lot. Thank you, everybody, for watching What's New. Danielle is back for What Matters Most at 6, which starts right now.
Holiday travel frenzy.
We're good to go and traveling safe from our standpoint.
Millions of Americans head to their Christmas Day destinations despite warnings over the pandemic. We'll show you the ways to stay safe when traveling to see loved ones. Christmas Eve snow. Find out just how much of a white Christmas is on the way as temperatures begin to plummet. Last-minute shopping.
I just want to get out of the house and experience what was a normal Christmas.
See what stores look like for those still looking for the perfect gift. Time before Christmas running out. And a family for the holidays. Meet the young boy who found a home with a local couple after years in foster care.
From the WKYC studios, this is What Matters Most.
Welcome, everyone, and thanks for joining us on your Christmas Eve. I'm Danielle Serino here with Matt Wintz. Now, many of you are spending time with your families this evening, but Matt, if they're heading out, they really need to be careful, right? Because there's some serious winter weather coming through.
Yeah, Danielle, that first round of snow that we saw earlier today really did us in. That caused all sorts of problems on area roadways. And also the fact that we had all the rain and the drizzle around early today, and now we've got temperatures that have plummeted down into the low 20s. We had a flash freeze situation where all that water froze. So we've got some real icy patches for anything that's untreated outside. And so I want to start with a look at traffic. You can see we've got a rough go of it, all the orange and yellow colors on there, the main thoroughfares in the Cleveland to Akron corridor. Pretty rough right now. The only spots that are doing okay are out towards the west, Erie, Huron County, areas of Lorain County, then back down towards the Mansfield area. But we've got one closure. There are numerous accidents. I counted at least over 50 in Northeast Ohio right now, but the big one is I-76 West is closed just as you get beyond State Route 57 due to a crash, and that will likely be closed beyond the 7 o'clock hour. So keep that in mind. If you do have to get out and travel, I get it. It's Christmas Eve, everybody. You want to see the family members. Perhaps you've been quarantining, but take it easy and take it slow as you're out and about. Allow that extra space, as us here in Northeast Ohio know how to do. You can see we've got the main wave of snow that pushed on out. We've got a little bit of a break where the snow becomes more scattered. The heaviest snow right now still in Ashtabula, Portage, and Trumbull counties. A live look courtesy ODOT of I-90 at Route 11. And you can see we've developed quite a coating there. Bridges and overpasses getting slick in a hurry. We've got decent snow falling in Summit County. That extends down towards areas near Canton, now pushing back in. We've got snow-covered roads down there. You get those two tire tracks. Make sure you stay in them. You get outside of those, it gets slick. And here's our next round, now starting to push into areas of Richland County. We will see this camera view start to snow up there over the next half hour. And the reason why, here's a big picture look at our storm system right now. We've got a push of moisture and a low pressure as this cold air continues to really push in and change a lot of this rain over to snow for the duration of the storm system. We've also got an area of low pressure, and that will help to create more lift in the atmosphere. So as we go throughout your Christmas Eve evening here, it's this batch that's pushing in here that I think will produce some of the heavier snowfall rates that we've seen so far. And again, that will really ramp up from south to north across most of the viewing area, especially east of 77. And that will ramp up this evening on through the early morning hours of Christmas morning. So your winter storm warnings are in pink. That's where we'll see the highest impacts. Again, you could draw a line pretty much along 77 7, and then points east. That's where we're going to see the most snow from this. Winter weather advisories elsewhere. A quick picture look at how this looks. You can see the snow works back in here this night or tonight, and then tomorrow morning as we get into your Christmas morning, it'll start to wind down for many of us, but then we turn towards lake effect snow. And Danielle, we're talking some pretty significant snow bands tomorrow as well. So we wish for a white Christmas, but those that are out traveling are probably wishing it would have held off a little bit longer. So we'll give you coming up the impacts and our snowfall accumulation forecast coming up in that main forecast. Danielle?
All right, thanks so much, Matt. And we continue to follow breaking news tonight in Columbus, where the police chief announced he has taken action to fire Officer Adam Coy